really quick before we jump into episode 2, I wanted to make sure to let you guys know that Amy and I have been working on something in the background and we are ready to launch it. It is a limited time only though. So we have partnered with Spread Good Shop and we have 3 different products right now that are available for purchase up through October 18th, midnight PST, Pacific time zone. So, as you can see here, we've got shirt, hoodie, and a tote, and each one has 5 different colors, and it is in honor of our mamas and the launch of this podcast. So, let me tell you about this design here that was specifically made just for our mamas. So we have both of our moms loved purple. So we've got the purple. Amy's mother was a breast cancer survivor for 5 years. And so there's the pink. And she also liked pink also. And then we have the begonias for my mother, and we have the lilies for Amy's mom. And they were fierce ladies. They were fierce mamas. So if you would like to purchase one of these, not only do you get something very cool and something very personal, but one of the great things that we're really excited about this partnership with Spread Good Shop is that the proceeds are donated to research. So we chose Nord's FAP Research Fund in honor of my mama, because she and I and my grandpa, her dad, had familial adenomatous polyposis, which we talked about in our first episode. And you can learn more about at lysapolyp.com also. And then in honor of Amy's mom, the proceeds are also going to be donated to Cure Alzheimer's Fund for their research, because that is what Amy's mom died from. And so we want to honor both of them and their legacies, and we want to end both of these diseases. They are terrible diseases. And so that is one of the ways that we are helping trying to do that is through this fundraiser with these shirts, hoodies, and tote bags that represent fierce mamas out there like ours. And so please check it out. Get your orders in. We do need 10 orders for the fundraiser to be able to ship out any orders. And again, it ends October 18th. So this is a limited time thing. So yeah, we wanted to put that plug in there before we jump in. But let's jump into the episode here. Welcome back. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Amy.
And we're
a Daughters Love Podcast.
Oh, we're too fun.
What
I love
is happening?
First of all, Amy, show off your shirt. Can
you see it?
I love it. Keep it traditional.
This is talking about like ceremonial tobacco. Yes.
So in our charity.
Yes, it says let's commit to quit ceremonial, or I'm sorry, let's commit to quit commercial tobacco and vaping. So it's saying to keep it traditional only.
Love it. I love it. I was going to put up our family tree because if you've caught our first episode, what we here talk about is our mamas. We talk about their past cancers, their last days, our caregiving, our grief. And so in our first episode, we shared some of their stories of our mamas and kind of a little bit of our experiences with grief. And so I'm going to put a little family, a generic family tree, just so, because I heard from some that it was hard to follow our family line, which I totally understand. It's hard even when you're looking at it sometimes.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'll put that up here. And then we thought we would delve into more about the grief, though, since we did talk a little bit about their past cancer experiences, which they both survived from. That was not what got them in the end. And we shared about kind of their last days and some of our experiences with that. So, Amy, would you like to start off sharing about some of your grief experiences?
Sure. So I know that grief looks different for everybody. We were just talking about going back to work after our mom's funerals. And I went back like the next day after her funeral, and looking back on that, it's probably not the smartest thing. I kind of wish I had taken a little bit more time to just have time to myself and, a little more time with family. But I threw myself into work. I totally threw myself into work. It seemed like I needed a big distraction. I was working several part-time jobs at the time. So I was just all over the place, but I pretty much kept my schedule full. Um, and I think that a big part of that was because I just wasn't ready to deal with it. Um,
Mhm.
you know, it- with my mom having Alzheimer's, it really was the long goodbye. I mean, so, it was
Yeah.
a long, drawn out process. But I just feel like I was really trying to find a distraction. So I was working a lot, not taking time out for myself. Kind of went through a deep depression. It seemed like I just couldn't get out of bed sometimes. If I wasn't at work,
Yeah.
I was in bed. And I
Mhm.
have days like that still sometimes. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't really recommend what I did, looking back, but maybe it did help me get through the hardest few weeks of it. Um,
Yeah.
but now I've just had to learn how to scale back. So
Mhm.
now I'm just working one full-time job. I'm not going in four different directions like I was. Um, I've had to learn to really say no to a lot of things. It seems
Yes.
like now I kind of measure things, okay, is this something that I really want to do? Is this going to take too much energy from me? Is this, I've learned to say no more. So I feel like I have more
Good.
discernment with things like that. Also just learning how to rest, learning, when I am tired, when I do need to rest. I mean, even if there's something going on that I want to go do and I know, okay, if I go do that, I'm not going to feel good later. I have two
Mhm.
autoimmune diseases as well, RA and ankylosing spondylitis. So that brings with it a lot of fatigue. Um,
Sure.
so just learning to say no to certain things, taking time to rest, um, now taking time to sit with those emotions instead of trying to compartmentalize everything, because I tend
Mhm.
to try to file everything away and I say, I'll deal with that later. And I think that's what I
Yeah.
was doing when I was working so much. I thought, okay, I've got to focus on work right now. Um, I don't have time to think about all my problems. I've got to get to work. I've got to go, 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 go. And so now I've just kind of learned to sit with those emotions. And I feel like I'm dealing with it better. I've joined a gym. I've gotten a personal trainer. So this is all new to me.
Yes.
Um, just started to want to be healthier, want to feel better mainly. So that's another thing that I've been doing. I've started this new healthy journey. If I can just get my eating right, then I'll be doing okay. But
Baby
yeah,
steps.
baby steps.
You don't want to make too many big changes
Right,
at
that's true.
once.
It's too
It's not sustainable.
overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think you're doing great. I need to be like you.
So that's kind of,
Oh,
oh, you got a cat there.
yeah, I got Mama's cat. He
Oh,
was
he's so cute.
so
I have dogs and a cat
yes.
around here too, so you may see some of them. I hear them.
So sorry. So do you so you've started all these different things. What do you think though kind of led you to a point where you felt able to make changes in like your self-care and things too? Like what do you think kind of let you do
Really,
that?
I think I just got tired of being tired, you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And
Mhm.
that I just kind of came to that point and I thought, I've got to make a change. I cannot keep
Yeah.
being in the bed for 12 hours when I'm not at work. I can't
Mm.
continue down this path because it's not good for me. And,
No. No.
so I've just realized that changes need to be made. And since I've been working out, I've been feeling a little better. I know it's going to take time.
Good.
It's going to be a long process, but yeah, I think I just got tired of feeling bad. And I was ready to
Yeah.
just say, okay, I'm ready to start living again. I'm ready to start feeling good again. I mean, my mom would not want me to be in the bed, you know, spending my life in the bed.
Mhm.
So I could hear her voice like, Amy, get up. Come on. You know. So anyway, that's kind of what prompted
I,
me to start making some changes.
and I think like you really hit it on the head too with the you're ready to start living
Mhm.
again. Like that says a lot right
Yeah.
there because I mean with grief, right? Like it's how do you I mean I know I felt like how do I keep on living? Like not that I was at risk of hurting
Yeah.
myself, but like life is different. Um I divide everything into a before and after. There was mom and there's not
Mhm.
mom. And and it took me a while to where I was like, okay, I can enjoy life again.
Right.
Which I think is right along that line of
It
living
is.
again. Like you're not just
Yes.
surviving anymore. We're living. Do you feel like so what's it been like now that you've made these different changes like with your jobs and you're getting to do things that um are healthier for you and hopefully some things that you enjoy
Mhm.
more too. Um how do you feel like now that you're sitting with some of those emotions from the grief? Like uh I know you said like you feel like you're coping better with it, but what was that kind of like? Like that going from suppressing, compartmentalizing, ignoring
Yeah.
to, oh, now I'm sitting in this. I'm sitting in it now.
Yeah. Um like I said, I think I was just making big distractions so I wouldn't have to think about things. But yeah, when you make that decision to just sit with your feelings, it makes a big switch, it seems like, in your brain. It's
Mhm.
like you have to tell yourself it's okay to feel this way. Like
Yeah.
today's just a bad day, or I'm not always going to feel this way. This is
Mhm.
temporary. I'm working on it. I'm working on myself. Just making that switch in your head that I'm ready to not so much move on. I wouldn't
Sure.
say move on, but just life's never going to be the same. It's never ever going to be the
Mhm.
same. And just accepting that and knowing that this is the new normal. And I know that sounds cliche. You
Yeah.
hear that, oh, this is my new normal,
It's
but it's
it's
so
true
true.
though.
It's so true. Like
Mhm.
this is our new normal and we have to learn how to navigate it.
Yes, absolutely. Do you think before losing your mom, do you think that you self cared? Like, and not just like leading up to your
Hmm.
mom's, but like, do you think in general? Or do you think it was kind of more something that you've learned over the
I
last year how to self
I
care?
think I think I've had to learn over the past year. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really I really didn't practice a lot of self-care before, and I'm still learning.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm still
Sure.
learning. There's, you know, sometimes if it's like, oh, I need to go get a pedicure, and it's like, well, I feel too guilty about spending the money, or I need to go do this or do that, and it's like, no, this is something I need. This is something that's going to make me feel better, overall. So it's just something I've had to learn.
Yeah. Well, I love to and I've gotten to watch you learn some of these things over the year,
Mhm.
right? In our conversations and things. And I've been so thrilled with some of these changes that you've made because I don't know in the world how you were doing so many different jobs in the first place.
Crazy. It was
And
crazy.
I'm like, oh my gosh. So like when you told me you were making changes, like with just your job, I was like,
I
oh my God,
know.
finally.
Yes.
I'm so happy for you.
It needed to happen.
But yeah. Well, and like in the boundary setting, like I don't know about you, but boundary setting's really hard for me. And it's gotten easier over the last year because um my attitude's different.
Mhm.
It's kind of like, and maybe it's good or bad.
Mhm.
Good or bad. It's kind of a if you want to hit that button, then okay, let's do it. And we'll find out
Mhm.
what happens. And I don't think you're going to like
Yeah.
it. And that's why I say good or bad because right, like
Mhm.
I'm still working on being more responsive than
Mhm.
reactive. And like for me, like self care, I didn't know what that was either. I started learning it. Let's see. So about 3 years ago, I went into trauma therapy.
Mhm.
And I was kind of like you, like I would deal with things, but then like I get to a stable point, and I'm like, okay, I'm good,
Mhm.
I'm good, and I would like push everything back down. So I didn't stick with it. Like I would go in a depression episode, and then I would like go to counseling, and I would deal with
Yes.
things, and then once I got out of depression, I would stop. And so
Mhm. Mhm.
I was like, okay, I can't run from this anymore. I have to like because
Yeah.
um I knew like my parents were getting older, and not that I expected to lose mom as soon as I did, but I was like, I've got to get my stuff more straight because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to survive at
Mhm.
all otherwise. And so um over the last 3 years I learned self-care. Not that I'm like always the best at it,
Mhm.
but I finally learned it, right? And so that really helped me with losing mom. I felt more prepared because that was part of my trauma therapy was preparing to lose my
Mhm.
mom again. Like not that I thought I was going to lose her at that
Right.
time. I thought I had at least 2 more years with
Yeah.
her. But I was really working in preparation for to be able to live
Mhm.
after if I lost specifically my mom.
Mhm.
Um, And so like I went back to work 3 weeks after losing mom, and I focused just on that time. I just because one of my big things is allowing. Like I'm not very good at allowing,
Mhm.
um, like allowing my feelings or allowing grace or things like that. And so I just spent that time focused on okay, I just need to do whatever my mind or my body wants right now.
Mhm.
Like I'm just going to allow. And of course, like there were some days that like, okay, I mean, I was fortunate in the way that I didn't have to do anything for my mom as far as like what you do after someone
Mhm.
dies. My dad handled all of that. So I
Yeah.
didn't have to deal with any of that. And I don't know how people do that.
Yeah.
Um,
My dad handled most of that too.
but
Yeah.
so that's I can well, I mean, even before I lost my mom, before I even, thought I was going to, I was just like, y'all, I don't want to do this.
Mhm.
Like when you, I don't know how people
I
do it.
was the same way. Like I
Um,
didn't want to talk about it, didn't want to think about it.
mhm.
When they had talked before about um after they were gone, I never wanted to have that conversation. Those
Yeah.
conversations were really hard for me. Yeah.
So we had like, they were hard for me, but and I think in a way, like my parents and I are probably a little bit more morbid than you and your parents in a way. Um, I mean, I know we share some of
Uh-huh.
that, but so like our planning of our funerals or whatever, like that part, like I'm like,
Uh-huh.
ooh, okay, you know, I think funeral planning is fun. I'm weird,
No.
um, but like if I stopped and thought about like, okay, after that, like I know what you want, but then like that's all I want to know,
Mhm.
really, right? Or um I can't remember all the little steps that you do after somebody goes and stuff like that. And so then I would get real emotional.
Yeah.
I remember I tell my mom, I was like, can you write under every little thing in your house where it came from, like who or who it belonged to? Like,
Yes.
and then she didn't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had even asked my parents, I was like, would you make me a video, like talking to me, like in case I don't go before you? And mom didn't do that.
Yeah.
It was, but like, so we would have some conversations, but it was just like I don't know how though I would have done those steps that you have to do, even though I took 3 weeks off
Mhm.
and I just really focused on self care. I don't know how I would have done that because it was, like you said, there was days I didn't get out of bed.
Mhm.
There was days I didn't do anything. There were days that I was really busy and I was helping dad do
Mhm.
things. And then like it was just not I didn't force myself to do anything. And I had the luxury of that
Yeah.
and it was very helpful. I went back to work the day after my birthday and I remember like um going back to work. So I worked at two different locations and I remember like one of them, like I did not want anyone to say a word to me about my mom. I did not.
Yeah.
Now, like one of my like close friends, like she worked with me at that location, so like she knew, and I didn't mind if she talked to me about
Mhm.
it. Like her and I had already been talking about it, but I didn't want anybody else. Like you said, like you didn't want to talk about it, you didn't want to acknowledge it. Like
Mhm.
I did not. I was just like, please don't talk to me.
I
Please don't
was
talk to
the
me about my
same
mom.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was just kind of like we all know. I'm here to work,
Yes.
not sit here and cry for 8 hours.
Right.
Please don't talk to
Exactly. I
me.
felt the same way. It's like you don't even know what it
Okay,
took
I'm not
for
the
me to
only
get
one.
here today. So like don't
Yes.
start me crying or I'm done for the day.
Exactly. Right. And see, I think that's what I told like my friend too. I was like, I just want you to know, I don't want to talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. I
You
was the
know,
same way.
okay. See, and that's when like I was just kind of like, I'm glad to know that. That makes me feel
Mhm.
better.
Yeah.
And yeah, because it was kind of like in my other location, like I didn't mind like if they acknowledged
Mhm.
it, but I didn't really want to like go into it necessarily.
Right.
But
Yeah.
because it was just like you said, you don't know how hard it was for me to get
Yeah.
here. Like I'm trying to just focus and stay here.
Exactly. Like it took so much energy to just get out of the bed, to get in the car, to just get there. It's like, okay, it's a miracle I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah,
But, don't expect a whole lot more out of me, but I'm here. That's what matters.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And like, did you feel like I felt like I kind of like mentioned before, like my, like if you want to hit that button now, like my patience level, my tolerance level, I should say, for that button was a lot
Yes.
lower. Like it was kind of like, I didn't have the tolerance for people's
hmm
BS as like I did before. Did you feel the
I
same
feel
way?
that way. Yes.
Yeah.
I definitely feel that way now. And, I know we both work in patient care and, sometimes it's hard to put on that face of, the happy face and, the persona
Mhm.
that you have to have at work just to get through the day and to deal with your patients and your coworkers and everything. But yeah, my tolerance for people's crap is very, very, very low anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
because we've been through losing our moms, and it's like that's one of the most devastating things ever, and it just makes
Yeah.
other things seem so small in comparison. Not that I
Yeah.
don't still have the same empathy that I had for people. I still have empathy, but my patience is definitely a lot less. And that's
Yeah.
probably not a good
Well,
thing, but the empathy is still there. I just, I'm like, it's just hard. I struggle some days at work, especially in
what
patient care. It's, as you know, it's a stressful field. And especially when you're dealing with your loss and it's like, I've got to take care of myself too before I can take care of other people. And you just have to learn to sometimes even put yourself first before you can help others.
Mhm.
And that's hard to do.
Yeah. It is. And it's very, I think that's the thing. Like, I always put people ahead of me. Like,
Mhm.
and like that was part of my self-care journey too, was like that, to take that time and be like, no, I'm going to do this, or no, I'm not going to go do
Mhm.
that, or whatever. Um, because like, I know like what I would happen, like, I think kind of like you said, like you mentioned too, like having flares, like um, we would push ourselves so hard
Yes.
and then we'd end up in a
Yes.
flare. And whether like, and it might be that it starts as a mental
Yes.
flare, or then it's a physical, or it's a both. Like, it's just, um sorry, uh it's not
Right.
sustainable.
That is so
It's just
true.
not.
It's not sustainable. The path that I was taking, with just go, 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 that was not sustainable. And, I was getting sick, I was getting run down, and yeah. I'm in a much better place now. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm gonna get there.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. I think you have made huge changes over this last year, like not just little ones. I mean, they are some big life
Mhm.
changes, and I'm so
Oh,
proud of
thank
you
you.
for doing those.
Thank you.
Yeah, like and I'm trying to like use you as an inspiration, like to start being healthier myself, because I struggle
I struggle
inside.
a lot with it. Yeah,
I wish we, I mean, for many reasons, I wish we lived
I
closer, but
know.
like that could be one of them. Like, we go work
I
out
know.
together.
That would be great. I need an accountability
Listen,
partner.
well, see, that's why you've got a personal trainer, right? Because that's how I would have to be. I would need to be like, oh, I had to have someone on me, like
Yeah.
just like telling me what to do
Mhm.
and make sure I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I went and found this guy who he specializes in like helping people who have had like physical limitations, and
Oh
yeah, and
yeah.
he specializes in helping people older than me, but he helps people of all ages.
Hey.
And with like the surgeries that I've had on my spine and everything, I had no idea what I
Mhm.
was doing, but I just showed up and I was like, "Look, I want to get stronger. I want to feel better. I've got some limitations. I don't want to hurt myself." And he's like, "I can show you the things to do and we can get there." And yeah. And it's hard to shell out
See,
the
that's
money. It's
exactly.
hard to shell out the money
Sure.
for a personal
I
trainer,
know.
but I think it's been really worth it because I've learned a lot.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. See, and that's exactly what I would want, because like I would want someone who specialized, like who had the knowledge to keep me
Right.
safe. Not just, and that, see, that's, and I love hearing that, because that's been my fear of a personal trainer.
Hmm.
Like, I'm like, but like, exercises, but like, do you really like get it?
Yeah.
And so to know that there are ones that do, like, that makes me feel better. It
Yes.
makes me feel more open to it
Uh-huh.
myself,
Yeah. You just
because
have
that's
to
been a big thing for me that
I
I'm
think you got to find the right person that understands your
like,
situation. Yeah. It's
yeah.
not like I could just go in there with some 20-year-old who has no idea what it's like to have back pain or, like,
Yeah.
why can't you do 100
Mhm.
push-ups? What's wrong with
It's
you?
like I can't do
Yeah.
even one. I can't do even
Me
one.
neither.
I've never been able to do one push-up. Yeah, I'm just like,
I'm still not there.
but yeah. Well, I think you'll get there, or at least to like, like where you need to be, because
Uh-huh.
that's like great. Because like maybe a push-up's not realistic. I don't think it's realistic
That's
for
not really
me.
my goal.
I don't care.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
no, but I mean, like, like what's realistic for one person, is going to be different for each person. Like, I don't, like, I have tendonitis in both my wrists. So,
Hmm.
like, doing things like plank, like, I can do a plank, but I don't know that that's the best thing for me to
Right.
do because of my wrist. Like, that's a lot,
Right.
So,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
Yeah. And if it's you don't want to get hurt and have a setback and then you're like, "Oh, forget it. I'm not doing this."
yes. So I think that's my thing too. It's I'm like, like if I get injured because you didn't understand,
Mhm. Yeah.
now what do I do?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Then I've just gotten set back. So, yeah.
Do you feel like the exercising like that's helped also with your mental health, with your
I
grief?
do. I really do because
God.
I every time I walk in there, I don't want to be there. I have to
Yeah.
I have to tell myself, no, there's somebody there waiting on you.
Hmm.
You're spending money, you're going. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, when I get there, I don't want to do it. Do not want to do it.
Hmm.
Hate almost every minute of it. And then when I'm done, I feel amazing. I feel
Oh, I love
I feel
that.
so good. I feel like I'm so strong. I feel like
Hmm.
I'm in a good place mentally. I feel mentally clearer. I feel refreshed. Like I'm ready to go take a cold shower. I think it's been really good for my mental health. And I've always
I
known
love
that.
that.
I've always known
Yeah.
that, but it's making yourself do it and applying it. Just
Hmm.
making
Yes.
yourself do it. I have to force myself to go.
Yeah.
But when I do,
Well, I'm proud of
after
you.
I'm done, I feel great. So I got to keep
Oh,
doing
good.
it. I got to keep doing it. And
Yeah.
if I can get,
Well, I'm proud of you doing that.
yeah, if I can get my diet where I need it, then that will be even better. I'm ready to feel better.
Yeah,
Hmm.
a step at a
Yeah,
time. A step at a time.
exactly.
But I'm so proud of you because that's so. See, I don't like exercising either,
I hate it.
and it's like even when I find something that I do like, if I don't have the energy to do it, then I'm like, I don't care that I didn't mind doing that last
Hmm.
time. I don't want to do
Hmm.
it, and that's so.
Yeah.
See, you're leading by example. I'm gonna try to follow you at some point.
Okay, great. Yeah,
I don't know if I'm quite there yet.
yeah.
I'm getting closer,
Yeah,
maybe.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. What do you think? So you've done. I mean, we both have shared this, but I mean, like, I know, like for you, like you've done self care. You're learning
Mhm.
that. You're setting boundaries. You're making different
Mhm.
changes. So, like, what do you feel like kind of like is the next thing in your grief journey as far as things to help, or like you've been thinking of implementing, or that you think would be helpful? Maybe you haven't like really thought about implementing it itself, but it's kind of like, oh, I think that might be helpful.
So, I think the next thing that I wanna start working on is going to the cemetery more. Um,
Yeah.
I haven't really been, but just a couple of times.
Hmm.
And I don't really feel her there. When I
Yeah.
go there, it's a peaceful place. It's just right down the road from where I grew up. It's a beautiful cemetery. Where
Hmm.
she's buried is a very beautiful location. Like it's our family plot. Like I have several family members there. Um, but when I go there, I just don't feel her there. But I want to get
Hmm.
to where I do start spending a little more time there just to honor her place of
Yeah.
rest. I want to honor that,
Sure.
and I want to plant some like you did, like you planted the flower bulbs. I
Yeah.
think that's awesome. I want to do
Hmm.
that at mom's grave. I want to make myself go there and you know I think since I don't really feel her presence there, it's been hard for me to even go there. I feel her presence
Yeah.
the most when I'm in my childhood home, where my dad
Hmm.
is, I feel
I
my
can feel
mom.
that. Yeah.
And you're probably the
So
same.
that's
Yeah,
how.
I bet.
Yeah. I was gonna say like my dad, they still have the
Yes,
house, and yeah, I love that place.
yes.
It's nothing like going
Yeah,
home.
I
Yeah.
figured you would be the same way. I think we're both really sentimental. Yeah, and family's so
Yes,
important to us. Um,
it
But yeah,
is.
I think just that's kind of my next thing is I want to start spending more time out
Good.
there and maybe trying to connect with her more and just
Hmm.
holding space for that and saying, "Okay, I'm here, mom, do you, do you have anything you want to say to me?" I want to see if I can pick up her presence there, you
Yeah,
know.
and I bet you
Yeah,
will.
I wanna get to
Yeah,
that because I know you've been
I think
to
that'd be
your
awesome.
mom's resting place more than I
Yes.
have, And I really like how
Yeah.
you and your dad go together
Mhm.
and, you know, how you've planted the flowers and everything. I wanna do that. So that's maybe just next on my list of my journey, and we're all just winging
I
it. We
like
don't know
it.
what we're doing,
Oh,
so
absolutely. No, yeah. No, and and I wonder too, like kind of maybe that kind of like avoiding the cemetery, like that might have been too kind of like part of because you were doing a lot of like you said, you were
a
distracting a
lot of
lot, avoiding a lot.
yes, a lot of
And that
distraction.
might have been yeah, and and that might have been too much in your face in a way too,
Mhm.
right? Like seeing her headstone where she's resting like
Right.
that. That can be a lot more in your face than maybe your childhood home
Mhm.
where everything already feels like that. Everything feels connected,
Right, right.
you
And
know? I mean, I can see that.
familiar, and, you know, it's
Hmm.
familiar, it's home, it's and then when you go and you see that on the stone, you see her name on that stone, it's like it just pierces my heart, when I see that.
Yeah.
I'm not quite at peace with it yet, and I wanna get to that
Hmm.
place.
I think you're well on the road
Yeah.
to it. And I think that'll be so wonderful. And like you said, like I spent I've actually kind of like I went from going almost every month. So our plots they're like an hour away.
Mhm,
So it's not like super I mean it's not like difficult, but it's also not like this most easy like as close as
mhm,
your sizes are. So we would go like every month.
mhm,
And if I would feel like if it had been too long, I'd be like, Daddy, I gotta go. I'm gonna go see mom. Like, let's go see
mhm.
mom. And I mean, and ours is like out in the country, so there's like not anybody ever there. But I'm always like, there's a like there's somebody owns land all around it,
Mhm.
and so like there's a farmer or something out there, and I'm just like laying on top of our headstone because we have one that's all three
Yes, I
sides.
love
And
that.
I'm just like laying on it.
Yes.
I'm like, Mom.
I love how you all have it set up, how it's all 3 of you.
You
I love
too.
that, and, when you show the donkey that's there, and, I just think that's really cool. I think
Yes.
it's really cool, and I wanna get to that point to where I can go
Yeah.
there and laugh and feel her there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Mhm.
thing. Yeah, like getting to that, like where it feels
Right.
comfortable
Yeah.
will be really good.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's how, like, I do. Like, we'll, I mean, I talked to mom there, and like I said, like we planted bulbs. So when we interned her, it was, we had a very
Mm,
private service.
yes.
So it was me and dad, and my mother-in-law, my partner, and my
Mhm.
stepson, and that was it. And so my mother-in-law brought 2 lilies and we planted them. And they have not gone dormant. They have survived
Oh,
over a year and a half
I
now.
love that.
I know it's like, oh my
That's
gosh.
cool.
And then we planted, one of my friends gave me a bunch of bulbs and we planted them. I think like one came up. So we'll do it again
Mhm.
like this fall. But we put like a little fence around it. And so far it's still up. But I think that's because mom hasn't really, like the grass hasn't grown over mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like where our plots are, like there's a like we're not up against a fence, but it's very dirt. It's just very dirt
Mhm.
there. And so I'm like, well, I guess they're gonna at least leave the fence up, like because you're not supposed to have
Yep.
anything that they can't mow
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Like we weeded it the last time, but I've gotten where I don't feel like I need to go as
Okay.
often. And it was actually my dad that was like, we can go see mom again. And I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
sure, we can go see mom. Like I didn't feel like I had to.
Mhm.
And I think maybe some of that's like I've been able to kind of start feeling her in other places that are
Yes.
closer. Um, I think. I mean, or and I think part of it's like healing along the way.
Mhm.
But I think like we got mom a zoo brick, so that was something that like both her parents have a zoo brick, and that's at the zoo as a fundraiser. You can buy a brick and have it engraved with whatever, and
Mhm.
so that's what the zoo bricks are. And I didn't expect to feel mom there,
Right.
but like we went and we found mom's brick and everything, and then I was like, oh, I really feel mom here. Like mom loved the zoo. She volunteered at the zoo for
Mhm.
years and stuff. So, but never felt mom there until we went to go find her brick after it was placed. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'll just come to the zoo. I don't have to go in the zoo.
Mhm.
I don't have to pay admission. I'll just hang out here in the front
Yeah,
entrance with mom and her
that's
brick, I
cool
guess. Like,
though.
yeah, it was really cool, but it was very surprising. Like, it was like, oh, I didn't really, okay, I guess I can hang out here. This is another place I'll hang out at,
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
guess.
mean, you can add
You
that to
know?
your list of places where you feel your mom. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So it's kind of different things. It's always interesting, I think, because like you said, everybody's
Mhm.
different. Grief affects everybody
Mhm.
differently, and like what helps one person may not be what is helping another
Mhm.
person. And like we've seen like that change over time too.
Right.
Like, so I mean, and like you and I, we have so many parallels. Like I think our moms did a lot too, and then we do so
Mhm.
much. And so it's kind of funny how our approach to the cemetery like has flipped in a way,
Yeah.
right? Like I was wanting to always be there, and you're like, no, 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 and now you're like, okay, I want to start going, and I'm like, I don't need to go as
Yeah.
often.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird how everybody is different and just where you find
Mm-hmm.
that peace and that comfort and that connection to your mom, how it's different for all of us. It's interesting. I find it really interesting how people
Mm-hmm.
deal with things in their own way, you know.
And I think that's it in their own way, because it's like my therapist would always tell me, nobody gets to tell you how you
Right,
grieve.
right.
And that was something that like some of the people that were in mom's life, like they were trying to tell me how to grieve, and
Mhm.
she's like, they don't get to decide
Right.
that, you
That's
do.
right.
And you're right, like it's just, and that's why it's different for everybody. It's not, and there's nothing wrong with
Mhm.
that, as long as you're not hurting someone and you're not hurting yourself. Like it's
I
whatever,
I think that's really
it's what you
yeah, I
need.
think that's really important to know too, and to allow yourself to just feel what you feel. I mean, just
Yeah.
whatever you feel is fine. Everybody's different and you have to give yourself that permission to just feel that way. And then
Mm-hmm.
that feeling might change the next day. It's a roller coaster.
Absolutely. It is. And like you said, like it's and I think it's like you said, there's nothing wrong with any feeling or feeling a certain way. It's what we do with those
Right.
feelings, right? Like that's where it may not be appropriate. It may be perfectly
Mhm.
fine. And I know like I've had times like I've had my therapist had me start um asking myself, okay, like am I upset? Like what am I upset about here? Because if something bothers me and I stay upset about it, like I feel down and I'm like feeling depressed about it.
Mhm.
I've learned like it's probably relating to mom.
Yeah.
It's probably my grief. And that's why I'm still like feeling really depressed about some
Mhm.
situation that had nothing to do with
Right.
mom, but it
Yeah.
triggered my grief.
Yeah.
Or like if I'm like angry about something, but it passes and I'm like, okay, it's not, it's, or like I'm still angry about it, but it's not like I'm okay, I guess I would say I know it's about mom if I'm feeling depressed,
Okay.
is what it is. But like if I'm angry, I'm holding on to it. Like I ask that question though, like why am I still so upset about this? And I'm like, is it about mom? And I'm like, no, because usually if it's about mom, I feel
Mhm.
depressed. So what's it about? Like why am I still holding on to whatever situation? Like what has it
Yeah.
triggered? But it's something that I've had to learn how to do, because I'd be doing my therapy sessions, and that's something completely different I'm processing, and then all of a sudden I'm like, mom, and it's like, well, I don't know why mom popped up all of a sudden in my thing, and it's like, well, it triggered her grief.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you never know when it's going to happen either. It
No,
it can be so
no.
totally random. Like I know for me, I can be having a great day and I can just be, in my car on the turnpike driving home from work and something will just hit
Mm-hmm.
me just out of the blue and then
Yes.
I'm crying all the way home. And then
Yeah.
another day, maybe something else will hit me and I'm smiling all the way home and I'm, thinking of some
Yes.
memory or, it's just it depends on the day. I think it depends on, how you're feeling overall. Just there's so many different
Mhm.
factors of grief and how it hits you and how you respond to it. And it changes all
Absolutely.
the time. It's always evolving for me.
Yes. No, I think it does for everyone. I think it's if you allow it,
Mhm.
right? Like if we just avoid everything and push everything down, then we're not going to process it and
Mhm.
it's not going to evolve because we're not letting it.
Right.
But I think you're right. Like I think part of grief though too is just like those moments when you're smiling, when you are enjoying, like you're savoring that memory, and it doesn't necessarily, yeah, like it makes you feel sad in the sense that like that's not
Mhm.
there, like because she's gone, but like you still are just like so happy that you have that
Mhm.
memory, and so it doesn't make you feel like sad, crying sad
Right.
or depressed. It's still like it's just like a warm, fuzzy
Yes.
feeling, even though, of course, there's grief with
That's
it.
exactly what I was thinking is like
Yeah.
it's a warm feeling. It's just like a warm hug, like mom's still right there. Like she's right there beside
Yes.
me. She sees me. She knows what's going on, you know. And I'm
Hmm.
sure it's the same way with you. Sometimes you just feel so close to them, like they're just right there, like, and you hear their voice
Yeah.
in your head. We kind of
Right.
talked about that
Well, that's what
too.
we
Mhm.
did. We did because we both kind of just felt like, especially, like they were talking right to us.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll do like, I started where, like, instead of like all in my head, I'll be like, I miss her so much. And so I've started changing it. So I'll catch myself and I'll be like, I miss her so much. Or like, I miss my mom so much. And I'll go, I miss you so much, mom.
Yeah.
And it helps me feel a little bit
Yeah.
closer. So I'm not like there's times like in the car, like I'll put my hand over into the passenger side, like I'm holding her hand,
Uh-huh.
like how we would before.
Yes.
Just like little things sometimes that I'm just like, okay, it makes me feel a little bit at that
Mhm.
connection again, and that way I don't feel quite the sad
Right.
part of it.
Right.
It's yeah, like a homesick, but it's not so down sometimes.
I think homesick is a great word to describe it. Like, because
Yeah.
our moms were our homes, like, and you
Yes.
truly do feel homesick
So
for
right.
that. That's a great word to describe
Hmm.
it.
I think you're so
Yeah.
right. You're right. It is. I think, yeah, exactly. It's, well, I know like my mom, like one of my friends gave me a hug the other day, and I was like, I haven't ever found anybody that gave me a hug that made me feel like my mom's hug
Yeah.
before. And I was just like, oh my God, that was so
Mhm.
nice.
And then
Like
it,
it
it
felt like I was hugging
yeah, it's
you.
like, okay, mama, did you send that? Did you send that person to come hug me? Like, yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
I think that's it. Always looking for those signs because I think they're. Like, so my mom had a big thing about dragonflies. So whenever I
Yes.
see a dragonfly, I'm like, "Mama,
Uh-huh. Yeah. My mom liked
you know,
hummingbirds a lot and she had several hummingbird feeders on her porch and that
mhm,
was a lot of entertainment to sit out there and watch all those hummingbirds and when I see
yes,
one I think
gosh,
of her, just sitting out on the
yeah,
porch and watching them and
I love
mhm.
that.
Yeah.
That sounds like such a beautiful memory too. Like you said, just sitting out there and watching
Mhm.
them together, and
Just
yeah, and like they're
they
entertaining.
really are. Some of them are pretty ornery.
I can just picture it.
Yeah.
I can just picture it.
Mhm.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. Oh, there's um, there's just so much like, and it's hard to like think of all the different things. And but I guess let's do this. Let's end off our second session with what would you tell someone? What advice would you give them if they're about to go into a grief journey,
Mhm.
losing a parent?
I would just say, um, I'll probably just reiterate a little bit, from our last video of how I would advise them to say all the things, tell them everything that needs to be said, leave nothing unsaid. Let it
Mm-hmm.
all out. Let them know how you feel. Um, if you've had a difficult relationship, apologize for your part in that. Ask them for their forgiveness. Forgive them for anything or any time they've made you feel bad. That was a big thing for me and my mom. I said, I forgive you for anything you've ever done to me or hurt my feelings, and I hope you forgive me. So
Yeah.
that was really important, to say those things, and tell them what they mean to you, what they've meant to you.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them you're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Don't
Yeah.
worry about us. We're going to be okay. Um, and just kind of like what we've talked about today, there's no wrong way to grieve. And like you said, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, it's okay to feel what you feel. I mean, feel what you feel. It's
Yeah.
okay. And learn to sit with those feelings. Learn what you need to take care of yourself
Yes.
for your mental health. Um, you know, I hope you don't have to force yourself out of bed. I hope you don't have to go through that. But if you do, it's okay. It's okay. I
Yeah.
mean, it's okay to have days where you don't get out of bed. Um, they're going to
Mm-hmm.
be there. And and just know that it's going to be a roller coaster of emotions. Things are always going to be changing, like, like kind of like what I'm going through. Um, just know that it's ever evolving. It's a journey. It's chaos, like we've said. And just, yeah, I mean, give yourself grace. Give those around
Yeah.
you grace. They might not grieve the way you do, and that's okay. I mean, you might have a family
Mm-hmm.
member that doesn't want to talk about it. Just let them have that space, honor that
Yeah.
space. When they're ready to talk about it, then talk about it. And then also, I would say just remember all the good times, I mean, because you'll get to a point where you can have those moments and those memories and have those warm fuzzies. You'll get there. It hurts, but I think you do get there. And but then
Yeah.
you will still have days where you cry. So I mean,
Sure.
it's just up and down. I just, the main thing
Yeah.
is allow yourself to feel what you feel and don't feel like you're doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
That's the advice I think I would give.
I think that's all wonderful advice. I love it. I love it. It's so good. And it reminded me, I kind of forgot this, but one of the things that I did when my mom went in the hospital for that last time, and we were told that that day that she, we didn't know how long she would make it. And so one of the things I did is I weighed every decision I made. And I weighed it with the thought of, if I lose mom, how is this going to affect my grief?
Mhm.
Is this going to help it or make it
Mhm.
worse? Because I was trying, and I know, okay, right. I realize now this was part of my control because I have control issues.
Mhm.
But I think I'm really glad I did it though, because I did everything with the intention of my healing
Right.
if I lost my mom. And so that way it helped reduce any of my regrets.
Yes.
Um, and honestly, I had one regret, um, and I can't even remember what it was. But I know I had one regret as to something that I wish I had done and I didn't do. Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. And I see that's the thing is that I have worked on forgiving myself for this one thing. So much so. that it doesn't stick in the front of my thigh anymore. But my one regret was that I didn't catch my mom's last. I wasn't looking at her face when she went
Yes.
unconscious. And that's my one
I
regret.
remember you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really hard. And so look at that. Like, I forgot what it
Yeah.
was. That's huge. My therapist is gonna be like, "Oh my god." But that was one of my big things, is that I just approached everything with what I was doing was, okay, is this going to help me or hinder me after I lose my
Yeah.
mom? And I think that made a really big deal for me because, like you said, yes, you can still talk to your loved one after they're gone,
Mhm.
but it feels different than if you get to tell them all those things while they're still there.
Mhm.
Physically, even if they're not
Right.
conscious. It feels different.
Mhm.
And so I think that's one of those things too. Like, not only does it help with their own healing that they're needing to be able to move
Right.
on to the next whatever is out
Mhm.
there or isn't,
Mhm. Mhm.
that it helps us too. And I think that, like, trying to minimize our regrets can be a big thing that can help with
Yes.
healing. And then, like you said too, like, I just like that allowing. I love that, like, holding space for someone else,
Mhm.
and not taking it personal if they're grieving in a different way,
Right.
but giving them that space, just like you want them to give you your space,
Right.
right? Like, whether it's a I'm here holding on to you space, or I'm giving you some alone space.
Mhm.
Whatever the space is, holding that is so important.
Right.
And I love all the things that you said. I think I agree with you on all that. Those
Mhm.
are such important things. And I'm so glad that you shared
Mhm.
those and everything. I always, like, I learn from you all the
Oh, well,
time,
thank
and
you.
I always love all your stories and just the things you share with me. So I'm just so glad that you're sharing that with our listeners,
Mhm.
because you have such important and powerful and meaningful
Oh,
things
thank
that you
you.
share, and I'm just so glad. I'm
Thank
so glad
you.
that there's it's going out into the world, because it's going to help. It helps so many
Mhm.
people. I know it helps me.
Well, I'm really glad that
So
you started this, and I think this has been and is going to be really helpful for both of us. So
I think so
I
too.
want to thank you for doing that. So
Thank you for doing it with
yeah, yeah. It's pushed me out of my
yeah.
comfort zone a little, but I mean, I think it's really being helpful for both of
Yeah,
us.
I'm
Yeah.
glad. I'm glad. Well, and I think too, like, right, like, not only like healing, like, with our grief and stuff, and helping, and we have a goal that it'll help other people
Mhm.
too. Obviously, or we would just sit here and talk to each other all the
Yeah.
time like this and not put it out in the world. But, like, it helps me feel closer to you too.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, we talk. I mean, not every day, but we talk pretty
Mhm.
often. But we don't always get to just, like, sit down and, like, chat and stuff.
Yeah.
So I love that it reinforces our connection
Me
too.
too. I feel like we always have like an ongoing dialogue in our text. And
Yeah.
it might take me a day or two to get back or whatever, but it's like we just pick right back up. So I
Yes.
like having that.
And I think that's, like, me too. And, like, that's the true, like, hallmark of any, like, really good
Yeah.
friendship, right? Is that you can just pick
Yeah.
up wherever you left off.
Mhm.
And it's like, it's been amazing. Like, I hate that we lost our moms, but I love that we have, like, really
Me
connected,
too.
because we didn't really connect before. And that's not, and I think we would have,
Mhm.
but we didn't, like, neither one of us really put in that effort. I know I didn't. And like, what are we going to talk about,
Life
like, or
happens.
and now,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. But now we're just
Uh-huh.
like we just know, like, it's allowed us to have that natural
Right.
friendship. Like, we just know things to say to each
Mhm.
other. um
Well, and it
and it
feels
feels,
comfortable to go back and forth.
yes.
Yeah.
It does. It doesn't feel forced or anything. And I think before, like, I know for me, like, because I'm like, I don't know what to
Yeah.
say to you. I didn't grow up with
Yeah.
you. Like, I've met you, like, once or
Yeah.
twice, and, like, everything just
Yeah.
flows. And so I hate that we missed all that time together that we could have had.
Mhm.
But I'm glad that we have it
Yes,
now, and I'm glad that
absolutely.
we're getting to experience each other's
Mhm.
moms through each other. Because like I mean I met your mom
Mhm.
twice. Like I don't really, but I feel like I know
Yeah.
her already
Yeah.
now, like over this last year, and it's a cool
Yeah,
thing.
it really
So
is. It's it's a
yeah,
cool adventure.
it is. So that would be one thing. I guess we'll leave on that is that if you can find a grief buddy,
Yes, there you go.
it is it is huge having a grief buddy.
Absolutely.
Just someone who understands what you're
Mhm.
going through.
Mhm.
So yeah, you add that on to all our other thoughts to help with the grief. Find a grief
Find a
buddy.
grief
And
buddy.
I hope you find one as good as my lady.
Oh, well, thank you. You've been so helpful to me. So
You are
you're a
to me
blessing.
too. You are too. I'm so grateful for you and your family. And I mean, like, I know they're my family
Mhm.
too, but like, it's, well, gosh. And because of you, I've gotten to meet family I'd never
Yeah,
met
I
before.
think that's really
So it's just
cool.
kind of, it
Uh-huh.
is. It's just a really cool adventure. And, we have so much that we're going to talk about over the times. And you're going to get to know our families
Mhm.
better. So yeah, we'll leave it off on that.
Okay.
So we kind of had a sad episode in a way, right? We're talking about grief,
Mhm.
but just if you're feeling down after hearing about grief, just think about all the fun family stories you're
Yeah.
gonna hear because we've got so many
Yes, we
more.
do.
I'm always learning new ones from Amy, and I hope that she'll share some of them
Mhm.
too, like not just because I know like you shared one with me that you're like I'm not going to share that. Well, I hope you do, but I won't make you share anything you don't want to
Okay.
share. So,
Okay. I'll
but
I'll
I'm just
I'll start
excited.
getting a list of my stories together.
Yeah. Yes. So, all right. So we're doing good so
Mhm.
far. We've got one a month going so far, but like we said before, it's
Good.
chaos and we're not on a timeline or a deadline here. So join us back for the next one.
Sounds good.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.